G-Man Boxing. Do you know what I mean? Every single live he donates. I see him on other lives donating. He's got the bag on it.
Alright, so the comeback of Anthony Joshua is pretty much a done deal now. April 1st, O2 Arena, Jermaine Franklin. It's happened. It's not been officially announced, but from all intents, from all sides we're hearing, it's happening. What are your thoughts on this? Jermaine Franklin, coming off the back of a loss, has to be said, going in there against Anthony Joshua, more than likely his own pay-per-view. It just is what it is. Am I happy about it? No. Do I think it's worth pay-per-view? No. But am I surprised? No. Joshua, with the amount of money he's going to be paid, the zone, realistically, you just can't not put it on pay-per-view because you'll take a serious loss, and the zone don't want to take a loss, as no business does, so they're going to put it on pay-per-view. It is what it is. What can you do? But in terms of this opponent, I've said it once, I'll say it again, no issue with Jermaine Franklin being the opponent. I have no issue because I am aware, and everyone watching this should be, that this is a comeback. Joshua should, this is the opponent Joshua should have been fighting, in my opinion, when he lost to Andy Ruiz. I had no doubt in my mind that Joshua, if he rematched Ruiz, could beat Ruiz, because we know how to beat Ruiz. Joseph Parker showed how to beat Ruiz, and I thought Joshua could do that, and then the rest. But I thought to myself, well, Joshua is going to be back in the lines then. There'll be Usyks, there'll be Furies, there'll be Wilders, there'll be all those guys knocking around. He's going to have to fight. He can't just win his titles back, be unified champion, and then have a rebuilding process. It just doesn't work like that. So I would have rather Joshua, even when he lost to Ruiz, just saying, do you know what? I am in a position where I can decide what I want to do next. I can take the rematch, but I'm going to rebuild. I think he should have done that. And I think that if Joshua, Joshua signed with Eddie Hearn, he's got a lifelong deal with Eddie Hearn. But I'm always surprised Joshua didn't go independent, a bit like what Canelo does, and just the network's bid for you, I'm surprised he didn't do that, because I think if he did do that, he could have gone and had the rebuilding process. Maybe he would have still took Ruiz, I don't know. But I think that's what he should have done. I think if you look at Lennox Lewis when he lost to Haas or Oliver McCall, he rebuilt over the next couple of years, had a few fights, and he was able to rehabilitate himself. Now, Lennox Lewis had the luxury, I don't know if you call it a luxury necessarily, I'm sure many people would like this, but Lewis wasn't a cash cow. He wasn't the cash cow Joshua is. So he was able to go and take some interim fights, learn at Manny Stewart, come back stronger, beat McCall in the rematch, and we saw the Lewis we had by the end. He could lose to Hasim Rahman and then immediate rematch, avenge it, because he just had built himself to such a level. Joshua's not at that level. He may never be at that level in terms of mental strength and maybe technically as well. I mean, Lewis, would anyone pick Joshua over Lewis? I wouldn't. So Lewis had that in his advantage. Joshua, many people are eating off him. He makes a lot of money. He generates a lot of money. They knew the Ruiz fight would generate a lot of money, and it was a case of, we want this gravy train rolling. We ain't stopping. So he never had a chance to have this comeback. He has it now, but he's 33 years old now. Is it a case of too little too late? That's a possibility. That's a very strong possibility, and it may very well be the case. I don't know. I have a funny feeling that he will eventually win a title again. Against who, I don't know. But at the minute now, he needs a lot of work. That's the best thing I'll say. So if he's working with Eric James, it could help, and we will wait and see. Jermaine Franklin, decent hand speed. He seems to take a pretty good shot. You could make an argument that he won against Dylan White, definitely. So do I think as an opponent it's a terrible opponent for a comeback? No. It's kind of what I was expecting. I was actually kind of expecting a lesser opponent, truth be told. So, and you see, this is how having a loss, but doing well in the loss, can actually give you a big fight at the end. So Franklin's going to be well compensated for this. I think Joshua should win this fight pretty easy. He should look devastating enough. I would imagine he would anyway. If he doesn't, then we really got a problem. But I think that this is a decent comeback to come back against. I've no issues with it. It's a comeback at the end of the day. He's going to be going and probably fighting the winner of White Vallian in the summer. So Eddie Hearn is full steam ahead on getting Joshua, or trying to get Joshua back somewhere to where he was 2017, 2018. I don't know if he'll ever get back to there, but they are certainly going to try. They are certainly going to try. In terms of how I feel Joshua will be, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, you're dealing with someone who's had back-to-back losses, albeit against Alexander Usyk. But if you want to go further, he's lost 3 of his last 5 fights. That's not good. And he's had a mental breakdown in the ring. It's going to be very interesting to see how Joshua looks in this fight. Very, very interesting. No doubt he'll beat him, but how is he just going to look from a physical and mental point of view? It's going to be very, very interesting. So the mental side I'm more worried about than Joshua. The physical side, there's no real way to shy away from the fact he doesn't take an amazing shot, and when he gets hurt, he stays hurt for a long time. There's nothing you can really do about that. But the mental aspect, I mean, that's even a bigger worry, because there's ways you can protect the fragile chin. I've said this before. Look at Klitschko. But how do you protect a fragile mind? You know, how do you? I just don't know how he's going to do it. I don't. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But Joshua's comeback, immediate comeback against Jermaine Franklin, April the 1st. I'll watch it. I'll tune in. Back in the O2, first time since summer of 2016 when he fought Dominic Brazil, because he fought Molina in Manchester, and then it's been stadiums since then. So first fight in the O2 since 2016. Let's see how it goes. I'll leave you with that. Smash the like button if you could. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate you all locking in. Always do. For now, lads and lassies, peace.